Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the new Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Sora's Elemental Tech Mech. This is set number 71807. It has 209 pieces and I paid $20 for this set. So this released on January 1st alongside the Cole's Elemental Earth Mech and Kai's Elemental Fire Mech, I believe. They all kind of have some modularity where you can swap the arms from each of these and the legs and different things like that. So I got all three of them, and this is the last one for me to build. I've already built and looked at the other two, so I'm excited to look at this one. This one is a color scheme that I quite like, but I think this one has the fewest pieces, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But either way, in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Ninjago Dragon Rising Sora's Elemental Tech Mech, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. It helps a lot. So we start out here with some kind of side buildy stuff, some accessories, a little tree. Then we move on to building the torso of the mech. I love the color scheme here. There's some good detail in this, some nice piece usages. Those kind of gold pieces on the hips there are similar to pieces that were used in Cole's mech, but used in a different spot. We use some of those bigger kind of mech arm and leg pieces that were introduced a little while back, so they don't bend at the knees or bend at the elbows, but there still is a lot of other excellent stuff with this set. And now we'll work on building some accessories for the mech there on one of the hands, and then work on the other side, and then we're pretty much finishing it up. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Sora's Elemental Tech Mech set. I really like this. So I've already done a video about Cole's Elemental Earth Mech, I believe, and I really liked that one. I thought the value was pretty good. This is another mech that released alongside of that, and there is some interchangeability between these different sets, as well as I think it's Kai's Fire Mech that also has a wolf mech there. And so eventually I'll probably put together a video where I go through different combinations and stuff, because I do enjoy that. But we can get right into this because there is a good amount of stuff to look at, and the first thing we'll look at is the minifigures, because you do get two of them. So the first one we have here is Sora. I love Sora. I love the minifigure. I loved when this first released in the Dragons Rising line. They have the really cool hair piece here, which reminds me of some hair from like Monkey Kid and other stuff like that. It's super cool, really well done. Sora is not one of the characters that has the same kind of like balaclava or scarf or mask or whatever that all the other Ninjago characters have. And in the first kind of wave of Dragons Rising, they did a thing where the thing was on the back and the like face mask mouth cover was all in one piece, and then the helmet was separate. But now, at least for Cole's in his mech set, he had again the kind of dual molded cowl and mask in one piece, which I do prefer. But in Sora's case, we don't have that. So we do have the little kind of scarf piece here, and you can see Sora's face has some good detail there. So I'll actually remove that so we can see the rest of Sora's face, and we can see how it's framed up here. So Sora has some extra kind of detailing on the cheeks there, which is very nice. And they do have an alternate face, which this one appears to be more like energized or something. The eyes are a bit different, the expressions different, so that's very, very good. like to see both of those. And the face covering piece is fine, and then the rest of Sora is really, really great. So super detailed torso. Love the gold going on through there. Lots of really fine details in here, which is super nice. We do have printing on the gold arm, which I love to see. So that's really great. The other arm is bare, and then we have different color hands there, which is nice. We do have printing on the midsection here and printing on the legs, which is awesome. Back of the torso has kind of Sora's emblem or logo, kind of this kitten looking logo there or whatever, which is also really great. So this is a wonderful minifigure. I like Sora's color scheme. I like the extra details on the face. I like the hairpiece a lot, and I like the gold and the mismatched arms and everything, and especially the printing on the arm I think is really quite cool. So that's really good. And then we also get another minifigure here, which is like a wolf mask claw warrior here or something, and they do have an accessory that to me looks to be kind of like a glider type thing, but it's pretty small, so it uses these kind of big kind of curved things here, and then some different like medium-sized barbs going through there, and that attaches on the back really simply. So it just attaches like that. Not too many pieces. I think it looks pretty cool. These can be kind of folded in. These things could be turned or whatever, so it could also be something else other than a glider. It could be just some extra weaponry. It could be some extra protection potentially, or some other stuff there. They also have these minifigure accessories in these claws, so that is fine. I'm actually going to take those off, and I'll take off the back as well, and maybe we can see more of this. So the claw or the wolf mask warrior is very similar or exactly the same as the one in the Cole's Elemental Earth mech, and so it's dual molded, which is really nice. So we see kind of the back, kind of a hood here tied around there, dual molded mouth there. The eyes are really good. If we look underneath that, we have a super fine detailed head underneath, and we do have an alternate expression for them as well. So I love to see that. Super good detail on here. I'll remove kind of the other back bling there, and love to see that. Torso is very, very good. Color scheme matches. A little bit of like metallic stuff in there, which is nice. Some nice kind of highlights and details going throughout. We do have printing on the midsection here and printing on the legs down to the feet, which is always appreciated. Looking at the rear, we have kind of the wolf logo there for the wolf mask characters, and some nice kind of metallic printing up there as well. I think these are great characters. I really, really like these. And I talked about this in the Cole's Earth mech set, because the this wolf mask warrior minifigure, this faction of people or characters, reminded me very much of like Lord Raz or Lord Ras or whatever from the first wave of Dragons Rising, and that one did not have a minifigure head underneath it. It just was like the wolf head that went on the minifigure neck on the torso there, but this one is a little bit different here. So it has still kind of that really nice interesting mold, good production work there, and dual molded, but also the production work on the head that's underneath there is pretty fantastic. So that's really, really good. And then besides that, before we get into the mech, we have a little bit of a side build here. It's super, super basic. It's supposed to be a tree. I like the colors a lot. It's nice to get these leaf pieces in this color. This stuff is all good. I don't know if I've seen this in black. I think I've seen it in gold before, this piece in a different Ninjago set. You do get one of these clear pieces here that has two studs on the end, so this clear bar and a bar piece can go through the hollow stud there, and that's so like characters could be studded down on there. Could look like the wolf mask claw warrior is flying or something like that, and it's pretty stable. There's not too many pieces used here, but it's a nice little addition, I would say. So fine to get that. And then the rest of the build is this Sora's elemental tech mech, which I don't think of tech as being an element necessarily, but for this, that is pretty cool, and this is really interesting. So it's very similar to Cole's in a lot of ways. It does use the same kind of mech pieces for the legs here and out there, so two of them there, and for the arms. So they can't bend at the elbows, they cannot bend at the knees, but I do like that. I'm fine with that. A lot of the smaller mechs, the $15-16 mechs, use those pieces as well. They don't really bother me. I actually quite like them here, and this was really unique. In many ways it's similar to Cole's. So the torso is a little bit different just because it doesn't have the same kind of stuff up by the shoulders. It doesn't look nearly as bulky, so this is really lean, feels very fast, it's taller, and I like that. This is a printed tile for the dragon with the little orb there, and this is the kind of specialized mech chest plate piece there, but we do have spots for Sora to sit in here, which is good. Really like the color blocking on this, kind of the like, I think this is dark blue or purple. I'm going to say dark blue, but also the kind of the coral pink sort of stuff through there, and then all the gold is really great. And so I like that. I'll actually put Sora in here for a minute so we can see what that looks like when they are in there. So their head peeks out a little bit, but this still feels very cool to me. So I like that a lot. And then I think the kind of curves all up through the torso are nice. I think these pieces are nice, but they can kind of interfere with the arm potentially a little bit, like right here when we get into kind of posability and articulation. That might be an issue, but I like that. It has the rotating waist that Cole's mech had as well, so I think a relatively new piece in there. Whoops. So you can pop that off. You can see we'd used some of the gold stuff there to kind of smooth that out, which is very good. Looking at the legs are very much the same as each other, just kind of reversed. The feet are identical. We do use these kind of pieces which were on Cole's Earth mech over the knees and kind of over the shoulders, which added a lot of bulk. Here we have them on the hips, so they clip on, and then we have just these bigger ball joints for the other joints there, and you know, those kind of things on the hips get out of the way pretty well, and so I don't really mind that at all. You know, if the leg goes forward, if the leg goes back, these hip things can kind of adjust to allow for that to work, so you have pretty good range of motion there. As far as the feet goes, like I said, they're identical. I actually really like how these feet look, but you have very limited range of motion here because of this modified plate with the bar and this kind of piece here, so they can't really go forward and backward that much. They can spin around, sure, but forward and backward not really. So to get this into like running positions and stuff, it might be a little bit difficult. It might just take some doing to balance stuff out there, but that wasn't too hard, and it's probably not like the most stable right now, but I'm sure there's ways to get it a little more stable, and I think that's pretty good. So the legs do have a good amount of mobility, all things considered, and the fact that you can now twist the waist here kind of makes up for the lack of mobility of the feet. Like I say, you can turn them. You could probably pop off this front piece. You could probably remove this and just put, you know, a 1x2 plate in there, and that would change it up a little bit, but I do like those gold accents, so that's something to think about, but that can maybe increase the range of motion there. But I really like how the feet were done. And then we have the arms, which we have some differences between them. So first, up at the shoulder, they are very similar there. I love the color blocking, and they have these kind of little sword blade detail type things on the rear. Those use like a smaller like mixel like joint, so those can also be positioned and spun around, which can give a different feel to how this looks. And I don't think they're really wings necessarily, but they could be worth something in that sense. Looking at the hand over here, like I said, no elbow joint, but we can like turn the arm all the way around. We can go in, forward, and back. To really swipe across, we'd have to go like that, but then you're limited here. It runs into the body. If you go a different way, like here, it's just, there's a little bit of limited range of motion just for how these connect to the torso and everything. They haven't really figured out how to get a good cross body slash in any way that allows for it. You run into some other parts here, but this one has this big, I think, pink translucent kind of blade that can spin there. There's no extra articulation on the hands, but I do like how the hands are done for the most part. We do have clips here for the katana, and there's actually one on the other side too. I always like when like minifigure accessories like this have a place to be stored when the character is occupying it, so that's really nice. Only 3 fingers here, no thumb, which is a little bit strange. I mean, some of this stuff can kind of look like it makes sense, but I would have liked if they found a way to just even have the suggestion of a thumb there, and I think that would have actually helped a lot. But this blade can kind of be spun around in here because it connects with some Technic in there, so you can make this kind of be straight up, but you can also kind of rotate it more vertically, and then some other stuff there. And yeah, the arms have decent range of motion, all things considered. Looking at the other arm, very much the same, but mirrored, so still no thumb. It does have the spot for the katana. And then this one has a sword, kind of a double blade, energy sword like thing, so still 3 fingers. Do have a little extra like translucent here. This can be spun around, but the fingers and stuff get in the way potentially. And if I back the fingers up, I can probably spin the blades like that. And you know, this can swipe pretty good. As far as going up and down, it's pretty good, but like getting to the cross body, but because we have the hip rotation there, or the waist, you can whoops, popped this out a little bit. Let me get that back in there. But you can actually get some pretty decent like swipe action like this, which is very, very good. I'm glad that hip rotation, waist rotation is there now. And that's kind of everything for this mech. I think overall, I'm a big fan of Sora's color scheme. I really liked the transforming mech bike set that came with Sora for the first wave. I thought that was really cool. It was like a 3-wheeled, trike bike kind of sci-fi-ish thing, and then it could also like very easily transform into a mech. So I was a little bit surprised to see that Sora was getting another mech, but this one's just like a straight up mech, and it also has some of the compatibility with Cole's mech and Kai's mech, so I think that's pretty cool here. And so I really like this. It's not without its flaws. These pieces can have a tendency to pop off relatively easy, and there is some limits to what you can do here, but I think overall it's pretty well balanced. You can get into some good poses. I didn't try to maybe get this one in like on a one-legged stance, but that was very easy to get there, and so not a big deal. There's probably a lot of other stances that you can get this in, from running stances to whatever else, so I do appreciate that. And that's kind of it for this, but I really like this. Comparing this to Cole's mech, I think I like that one better, even though I like this color scheme a lot. I also like Cole's color scheme with like the black and the orange and the gold and different stuff, and that one just felt like bulkier, had more pieces in it, and so I think I probably like that one more, but maybe there's some changes that can be made by swapping out some of these arms or legs with some of the ones from different sets, and that'll make up for some of that. I will show the extra pieces here because you do get some. I'm pretty sure this is all of them, including like an extra katana there, extra of the wolf claw piece, some coral pieces, black piece here, which was just used on the tree? No, where was this used? Oh, right here under the kind of saw blade looking thing, the spinning blade. And then the barb pieces in the black, extra little cowl face mask piece there for Sora. And this set is 209 pieces and it retails for $20. That is what I paid for it. Cole's Elemental Earth Mech was also $20. That one had more pieces in it. It did not have like the tree kind of thing. It did not have really a lot of extra stuff for the like wolf warrior in that set, but the mech itself had more visually. It seemed like it had a lot more. In actual pieces, it wasn't that many. So this one's like 209, and I think that one was like in the 230s or 240s or something. So not too big of a difference. You know, I think $20 is super fair for this for a couple different reasons. The minifigures in Ninjago, because they're like Lego's own property and whatever, are really, really good. I'm always kind of impressed with those minifigures there. There's no stickers in this set. You get some specialized parts here, which is nice. You know, the different swords and blades and the this and these kind of things on the hips and the mech arm pieces and the print here and the leaves and all that different stuff, I think is really good. And when I compared this to some of the Marvel mechs or the Star Wars mechs or different things, I think this is a better value, even though, you know, compared to some of the Marvel mechs, those might retail for $15, sometimes can be got can be purchased on sale, and so those are okay. They're, in my opinion, they could have been smaller than this, and they're not as just fun and interesting, but they do have like the IP attached to them. And I'm actually going to look at some of the newer Marvel mechs like War Machine and Venom, and I also have one of the old ones before these kind of mech arm and leg pieces were introduced, which is like an old Captain America that I'll be looking at in the near future. But I think this is a good value, and comparing it to the Star Wars ones, you know, those were up to $16. I think this is a better deal. I think $20 is pretty great for this. 20% off brings it down to $16. That would be a really, really good deal. So I like that. I don't know if I've actually really seen these on shelves too much around where I live, but I think these are very, very good. $20, a great price to make it affordable for gifts. It's something I talked about with the 4+ Lego City Space set. I think $20 is a really safe price and a price that helps this set a lot. You know, I could have seen them charge more for this years ago, or even now, $25, $30. I'm glad they didn't. They shouldn't. $20 feels right on the money. So I think this is great, and I look forward to looking at, you know, the Kai mech set, and then kind of taking these apart and matching them like I did with the Custom Car Garage and some of the 2K sets there, where those had some modularity to them. And I'm excited to look at that with this, because I think that's just a really smart system, to have systems within a system, within the Lego brick system, to have other kinds of systems that allow for modularity and interchangeability and all of that lovely stuff, which leads to like more creativity, more imagination, and just opens up the doors for tons of fun kind of combinations and outside of the box things. So I really appreciate that. So I think this is a really good set. You know, I think the minifigures are better than the ones maybe in Cole's set for his new mech, but I liked that mech a lot. I mean, they're pretty close. They're very close. They're both very good, and I think the value speaks for itself. So very nice. I like this a lot. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including that Kai's elemental fire mech, or whatever that one is, that also comes with like a wolf mask warrior mech as well. That's like a $30 set that I'll be taking a look at in the near future, and then I'll have a video where I'll maybe look at all the different combinations that can be done when you combine these three new Dragon Rising Ninjago mech sets, but then tons of other Lego videos, tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So So subscribe so you don't miss those. Subscriptions help me a lot, as do likes, comments, all that stuff. I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And if you wanted to support this channel in a different way, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. Every little bit helps, so consider checking those things out. It means a lot to me. And I still have the Patreon. It's linked in the video description, linked on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And there's some exclusive stuff for that. And like I said, it just helps support the channel, so I really appreciate it. I'm very, very grateful to anyone who watches, likes, comments, subscribes, gives, whatever it is. I really appreciate it, so thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.